you got to understand that you're playing the long game. And if you're
Yeah.
playing the long game, you build relationships, you build not just relationships, but world-class relationships.
Hey, it's Kevin Amos, Pine Financial Group, where we work together so you succeed. You found us here on Facebook, you found us here on YouTube. Please help me out. We're trying to build a channel, a larger channel, so we can help more real estate investors just like you. You can do that by hitting subscribe, hitting like, maybe leave me some comments below. We got a fantastic guest on today. Jerry McNamara, he's one of my he is my business coach. He's one of my mentors, one of the most generous people and smartest people on this planet. Jerry, what's up?
Man, ever since my mom left this earth, I'm so glad to have people like you around. Because she used to be my biggest cheerleader, but I'm replacing her with you, Kevin. Thank you so much.
I say when I do that little intro for you, everything I say is absolutely true. You mean the world to Pine Financial. You mean the world to me personally. I'm just glad to have you in my life.
Yeah, me too. Your energy, I've said this to you before, your energy is awesome. And at this point in time in my career, I'm lucky I get to choose the people that I work with. And you are one of those people that I get to help change the world. So
yeah,
I love what you're doing. And I love your approach, Kevin, in serving your clients, because it's such a mutual win-win approach. And I think that's one of the things that is sorely missing. But I think COVID has really bubbled that to the top, that people are looking for transformations. How do we get both of us better instead of just transactions? But yeah,
it's so interesting. I'm glad you said that, because we were going to talk about something else, but I want to come back to that. I want to come to that because I can tell you, and this is before I met you. We met 4 or 5 years ago, something like that, before COVID. What really changed for me in my business, and I think all real estate investors can benefit from this because they're transactions, right? What changed for me when I stopped chasing transactions and stopped chasing commissions and stopped chasing, the flip when I'm going to make the money on the exit. And I started focusing, not the money, helping people. When I started focusing on helping people, my business took off.
I think you're right. And, I've always been the senior leader or the CEO inside businesses. And, your job is to protect the balance sheet and make sure that the profit and loss statement looks really, really good. I can't manifest profits. I can't do that, right? And so when you look at it, it's all about operational excellence. And it's why I've been able to run 5 different businesses in 5 different industries. I've never been the technical leader. And it's because leading people is always the same. And so if you can be in this mindset in everything that you do, that relationships first and the money and operational excellence, that's behind all of that. Right. And I don't know, every person that I know, every person that I serve, we focus on operational excellence and relationships, trying to do it in as little stress as possible. But the money always follows behind that. And it's amazing. Yeah. And yet the McScrooges who are at the top of the pile of money and says it's lonely up here. It's like, yeah, no shit. Because you think you do life alone and you're willing to screw people at every turn just for $1. You gotta understand that you're playing the long game. And if you're playing the long game, you build relationships, you build not just relationships, but world-class relationships. And by the way, people will always come back around to help you. So when you're creating that value, and whether it's your contractors and people at Lowe's and Home Depot who you build relationships with, those are all the things, right? That make you successful. And I think people miss that when they're operating in that finite or that fixed mindset, as opposed to, hey, we're all better together, right? Let's both of us make some money doing this, as opposed to a win-loss transaction, because you'll never do a deal with that person again.
Yeah, I love everything you're saying. And I'm just trying to relate this to real estate investors. These guys are out there, guys and gals, mom and pop type operations. They're out there fixing and flipping houses. They're out there buying rental properties. And a lot of them think like, look, if I can go out and find a motivated seller and buy their house, I could solve their problem. Maybe it's a divorce or bankruptcy or some foreclosure or some kind of financial problem we're solving by buying their house. A lot of investors, I think, focus on that one transaction and not necessarily the benefit that they're providing to everybody else. And I got to tell you, Jerry, when I was doing a lot of these fix and flips, I was getting referrals constantly
Yep.
Because I wasn't trying to make the absolute most money on every deal. I would leave a little on the table. I really did want to help. What are some other ways that investors can, if they focus on the helping, do you think they could benefit?
You know, I don't, first of all, you're going to benefit for yourself, right? Because, you know, we've talked about this before. You know, I call it the 3 F's. Finances create freedom for fulfillment. And so, yeah, we need to make money. But at the end of the day, if you have success without fulfillment, then what price have you actually earned? It's come at too great a cost. And
That's
so
good.
if you are in that space of serving first, all the rest of it just, again, it just follows behind. And so if you can get out of that transactional, I would tell you, like, today, go and do something with an abundant mindset and see how it works out for you.
Yeah, that's great. Yes.
Right? Take that challenge today. Like, who's the contractor that you can go and send a text to and say, you know what, Kevin, I'm so grateful for the work that you're doing. It just makes my life easier and simple. And take them lunch or send them a bottle of wine to their house. Get to know these people, because, oh man, there's so much loyalty in real estate when it actually counts, because everyone else is operating in a transactional mindset. And so it's easy to differentiate yourself when you actually care, when you actually give a shit about the people that you're working with. It changes the dynamic of the relationship. They'll do back somersaults for you.
Yeah, that's right. I'm getting chills just hearing these talk because I know I've lived that. Great advice. I'm going to get you on another episode because I really do have some more questions I want to ask you, but I'm going to wrap up this video.
Yep.
That's the message, Jerry. That's the message. Get out of the transaction mindset and get into the fulfillment mindset. It sounds like to me.
Yeah. And, you know, like I continue to look at this, like the world has changed post-COVID. We all know people were miserable, didn't really like their jobs, but it's also given them more bolstering their identity that, hey, relationships really matter. And that's why you're seeing the great resignation. 4 million plus people have resigned their job every month since July 2021. And so people are looking for that purpose and fulfillment. Why not just give it to them? It's way easier. It's way more fun. And I promise you'll get way further down the line.
Yeah.
Amen.
So you do a lot to help me. Like I said, you do a lot to help the community, a lot of business owners. So how do you help? How do you help our viewers?
Yeah, I would love for you to come on. We publish lots of content on LinkedIn. That's the primary platform where you can find us. And so if you think this is interesting or inspiring, I would tell you, check out the micro content that we produce there. We also have a podcast, The Best Places to Lead, which is a takeoff for Best Places to Work. And, you know, my goal is this thing right here: positively impact 5 million people over the next 5 years. You can only do that through relationships, and I'm not going to do it alone. It's going to be with guys like you who go, you know what, this is exactly, I identify with this idea and this mindset. And so we're on a mission to create compelling companies, because compelling companies always outperform. And the trick is, Kevin, we want to make sure that people get home for dinner, because if we have success without fulfillment, then it comes at too great a cost. And so just be really conscious, intentional in your relationships with yourself, your relationship with your family. And so that's what we help people with.
You think you can help a mom and pop that's doing 1 or 2 flips a year?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I work with some smaller companies. You know, the engagement is smaller, but yeah, there's every person. I don't care if you own a business, you don't own a business, bringing conscious intention to your life. That's what everything's about. And so, yes, we can help every and anyone. The engagement just looks a little bit different. That's all.
Yeah, no, I love it. So how do we get a hold of you?
If you visit provenchaos.com, that's a great place to start. Or you can go to LinkedIn and you can search Jerry McNamara. I'm pretty easy to find.
Great. Thank you so much. We're going to get you back on. If you're a real estate investor, passively or actively, passively, we can help you out in our public mortgage fund. If you're actively fixing and flipping or doing some new developments or repositioning, we can help you with that. Check us out at pinefinancialgroup.com.